So, the Switch 2 is here. I unboxed it, I've been playing it, and yep, it's incredible. But I'll be honest, I'm exhausted. Not from the system, but from the launch hype, the tech comparisons, the updates, the FOMO, and my poor wallet. Yeah, it needs a break too. So today, I'm going retro. No hype, no specs, just a soft, cozy journey through my favorite handheld systems and the one game on each that brings me peace. Hey friends, I'm Autumn and this is Cozy Cartridges, where we explore calm games, handheld nostalgia, and a gentler pace. Let's start with the Game Boy Color, and a game I grew up on, Pokemon Crystal. It wasn't my very first Pokemon game. I started with either Red or Blue, I can't really remember which, but Crystal was the one that truly captured my heart. This was the game that made Pokemon feel alive to me. Most people know the basics. You set out on a journey to become the very best trainer, battling gym leaders, and catching as many Pokemon as you can. But Crystal took that familiar formula and made it magical. It was the first in the series to introduce a real-time day and night cycle with events and Pokemon encounters that changed depending on the time. It brought in Pokemon breeding, letting you hatch your own baby Pokemon. You could register trainers on your cell phone and get surprise calls to chat or be challenged to rematches, which gave the world this low-key social feel. And for the very first time, you could play as a female trainer. That made the Johto region feel like a place I could actually see myself in. It's cozy because it's so deeply familiar. I know the music, the routes, even the item locations by heart. It reminds me of playing curled up under the blanket with a warm light clipped to my handheld and sneaking in just a few more minutes of gameplay after bedtime. There's something so warm about the pixel art and gentle soundtrack. I still return to Crystal about once a year. It's my comfort game. Every time I boot it up, it feels like wrapping myself in a well-loved blanket. Familiar, warm, and safe. Is it really fair to have two Pokemon games on this list? Probably not. I did waver between this pick and Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town, which, for the record, is a cozy classic in its own right. But in the end, I just couldn't ignore Pokemon Emerald for the Game Boy Advance. Because even 2 decades later, it's still the best entry in the entire series. Come on, Game Freak, you know you've been slacking lately. Emerald takes everything that was great about Ruby and Sapphire, as well as the previous generations, and just polishes it to near perfection. The story is deeper and more dynamic. You're not just taking on a villainous team, you're caught in the middle of 2 rival factions, each trying to reshape the world in their own image. There's a sense of tension and moral complexity that really stood out at the time. But where Emerald really stands out is in its gameplay improvements. The core Pokemon loop is there, but expanded in meaningful ways. There are 2 bikes, one for speed, one for tricks, which open up new exploration routes. You can build your own secret base, decorating it with plushies and posters like your own pixel-perfect clubhouse. The Battle Frontier, introduced in Emerald, added a genuine post-game challenge with unique rule sets that still feels fresh. Visually, it's a standout. The sprites are bright and full of personality. The Hone region's mix of tropical towns, forests, and sparkling ocean routes feel colorful and alive. Water traversal finally feels like an adventure rather than a chore. And the pacing just flows. The world feels open, with enough structure to guide you and enough freedom to let you wander. It's nostalgic, yes, but not just because it's old. Pokemon Emerald still holds up because it was built with care, balance, and imagination. And honestly, the series has been chasing its tail ever since. And from the vibrant Hoenn region on GBA, we move forward to the Nintendo DS with a game that's as charming as it is musical. My hidden gem DS pick, Rhapsody, a musical adventure. You play as Cornette, a big-hearted girl who can talk to puppets and literally sings her way through a pastel-colored fairy tale world. Her dream? To fall in love with a prince. But when that prince is turned to stone and kidnapped by an evil witch, Cornette doesn't wait around. She grabs her magic horn and sets off to rescue him, with her sassy puppet sidekick in tow. No knight in shining armor needed. This heroine saves the prince herself. There's turn-based combat, but it's light and playful. You're clobbering enemies with pancakes and calling in adorable puppet allies to do your bidding. The charm lies in the details. Musical numbers, heartfelt dialogue, and a world that feels like a storybook come to life. It's romantic, silly, and unapologetically sweet. The kind of game that feels like watching a charming Disney movie on a rainy afternoon. Cozy, comforting, and full of heart. Plus, the musical elements really make it stand out. The songs and performances give the game a joyful energy that's rare to find. Now when it comes to the 3DS, nothing beats Rune Factory 4. It's the perfect blend of life sim and action RPG. If you've been around this channel, you already know I'm a die-hard Rune Factory fan. And this is the entry that started it all for me. You crash land in a small town, and thanks to a case of mistaken identity, you're suddenly treated as royalty. So naturally, you're put in charge of running the kingdom. This means issuing royal decrees, managing festivals, and charming the locals. No pressure, right? What makes Rune Factory 4 so special is how gently it lets you shape your own pace. There's never any rush. You can advance the story whenever you're ready, or not. In the meantime, you can plant crops, raise animals, go fishing, forge your own weapons, take on dungeon monsters, fall in love, or even, exclusive in this entry, run a shop. And yes, I'm still hoping this feature makes a comeback in Rune Factory 6. The gameplay loop is cozy, but it's the characters that really make it homey. Every villager has a distinct personality, quirky habits, and a storyline that unfolds the more you get to know them. Some are light and funny, others unexpectedly emotional. For such a cutesy game, it's got real heart. And yes, even a few heart-wrenching moments too. And if you're wondering, I'm Team Leon, always. And next up, we've got the Nintendo Switch. And since it's a Nintendo exclusive, my pick for the Switch is Fire Emblem: Three Houses. Yes, it's a tactical RPG. There's grid-based combat, permadeath if you want it, and plenty of strategy. But hear me out. It's cozy and a very specific very satisfying way. You spend just as much time teaching classes, tending gardens, sharing meals, and bonding with students at the monastery as you do fighting. The calendar system gives the game a rhythm, like planning out a semester or settling into a school year. It's relaxing, almost meditative. You play as Bailiff, a mysterious mercenary turned professor. Early on, you choose one of 3 houses to lead, each with its own students and storyline. Characters you grow close to in one route might become enemies in another. Your choices shape the story, not just which house you lead, but how you guide your students and where you stand as the world begins to fracture. It makes every playthrough feel deeply personal. Even the combat feels more intimate than brutal. You're not commanding anonymous soldiers, you're guiding your students. And if you're not into the stress of permadeath, casual mode lets you focus on the story and character development. That's how I play Fire Emblem. Between the warm monastery lighting, the peaceful music, and the heartfelt conversations, 3 Houses becomes less about war and more about connection. It's a surprisingly gentle, rewarding experience when you need something cozy with a little depth. And last up. So, this is one I imagine most people are playing on a Steam Deck, but since I don't have a Steam Deck, my pick for the Logitech G Cloud is My Time at Sandrock. It's a cozy, frontier-style life sim where you step into the role of a builder helping to restore a struggling desert town. You'll spend your days mining, gathering, crafting, and completing commissions to upgrade not just your workshop, but the entire community. There's a robust relationship system, plenty of quirky characters, and tons of side quests that make the world feel lived in. Where Sandrock really shines, though, is its rich character development. The townsfolk aren't just background NPCs. They'll stop to chat, comment on your progress, react to town changes, and even invite you to events or cutscenes that deepen your connection. Each character has a personality, backstory, and set of goals that unfold the more time you spend with them, making every interaction meaningful. Sandrock has a rustic charm that grows on you, and watching the town transform as you contribute adds a real sense of progress and purpose. The gameplay loop is satisfying but never overwhelming, which makes it perfect for short, laid-back play sessions, especially on a handheld. It's got that perfect mix of routine and exploration, and is a great pick when you want something cozy with just enough frontier grit and heart to keep it interesting. So, that's one cozy game from every handheld I currently own. No trends, no algorithms, just games I genuinely love and keep returning to. It's been so easy to get caught up in new releases and 60 FPS expectations, but sometimes a little screen with a big heart is all you really need. If you liked this gentle little trip through handheld history, feel free to like, subscribe, or just come hang out again. And hey, drop your favorite cozy handheld game in the comments below, along with what makes it special to you. I can't wait to read your stories and maybe even try some new favorites myself. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Cozy Cartridges, where calm games, handheld nostalgia, and cozy vibes are always welcome. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay cozy.